Hello everybody, my name is Trent and welcome back to Life Stories. I hope you guys are all doing great, especially in these tumultuous times. And hopefully, to distract you and keep you entertained, we got a couple stories for you today coming at you from Reddit/entitledparents. Today's topic seems to be fast food. So, without further ado, let's get started. Our first story is titled, McWrongalds and MalWart Have No Place to Sit. Let me eat my food in your vision center. The title says it all. I've written before about all my daughter endures working at the MalWart Vision Center. Saturday has to take the cake. Your cast: AD, amazing daughter; C1, coworker 1; OC, other coworkers; ED, entitled white trash dad; EB, entitled white trash brat, age 10 to 11, EM, entitled white trash wife; SM, MalWart store manager; SG, awesome security guard; and RC, random customers inside the Vision Center. Since reopening, the Vision Center must follow CDC guidelines per their corporate office. They must also follow the rules set in place by MalWart, the store in which their Vision Center is. Some of the rules include, unless you are the only one with an appointment, you cannot be inside the Vision Center. Caregivers and adults of minors are excluded from this. All employees must wear masks, of course. Inside this MalWart, there is a McWrongalds. Their dining area is closed. MalWart has removed all benches and seating areas inside their stores as well, basically letting people know they are not welcome to linger. Because the Vision Center has a waiting area, people often ask if they can sit inside there to rest, wait for someone else, etc., etc. Per a Walmart policy, they do not allow the Vision Center to put up any kind of sign saying, "You can't sit here." So many people, as you can maybe guess, get pretty pissed off. And this leads to them acting entitled. This is another story as told by my daughter when she got home Saturday from an absolutely brutal day at work. From the front desk, she can see the fast food counter. She noticed a man and his young daughter walking away with their food. Dad whispers something to daughter, and she enters the Vision Center. The entitled brat says, "Excuse me, ma'am, can we sit down in here to eat our lunch?" "I'm so sorry. Per the CDC guidelines and MalWart rules, we can't let you sit here. Only people with appointments are allowed in the Vision Center at this time." The dad chimes in. "Where else are we supposed to eat our lunch? There's no place to sit." "I do apologize, sir. They removed the seating for a reason. COVID-19. "Well, I have type 1 diabetes and I need to eat, now." "You're welcome to eat your lunch, just not in here." The entitled brat whips out her cell phone and starts recording. "You are discriminating against us because my dad is diabetic. If he dies, we can sue." Random customers chime in. "You really aren't going to let him sit down to eat in here? He's diabetic, for God's sake." "I understand, but I'm not allowed to let anyone in here without an appointment. I don't make the rules, but I do have to follow them." My daughter then turned away from the father-daughter duo to continue helping the customer at her counter. While her back was around, they grabbed 2 chairs at the end table from inside the Vision Center and dragged it out into the area just outside, sat down, and began to eat. The MalWart store manager then approached. "Sir, you are not allowed to sit here and eat your lunch. I'm sorry, but you have to leave." ED, pointing inside the Vision Center. My other coworkers responded in unison. "No, we did not. We told you we were unable to let you sit here." Enter white trash entitled wife/mother, who had just finished her shopping. "What's the problem here? Why are you trying to kick my family out of the store?" SM tries to explain, but the husband explodes. "These freaking a-holes won't let us sit down and eat our lunch. I have to eat." "My husband has type 1 diabetes. He can die if he doesn't eat. You have to let him eat right now." "Sir, we've explained why you cannot sit here. We are not stopping you from eating. We've stopped you from sitting here. Now, I must ask you to leave the store, or we will need to call security." "Call security! We are not leaving! We want to sit down and eat our meal in peace. You guys are a-holes." 2 employees start picking up the now empty chairs to return them to the Vision Center. EB grabs hers and refuses to let go. It's a standoff until security arrives. The security guard is 6'4" and about 280 pounds. He is huge. AD has come to stand at the entrance to the Vision Center to take the chairs and table back. She has the table and one chair. EB is still holding on to hers, and is once again filming everything, yelling how this is going to go viral and everyone is going to get sued. She was at the most 11 years old. ED and EM are still screaming at the SM and the SG. It's complete chaos at this point. AD is just standing calmly, waiting for it all to be over so she can get her other chair back. "Sir, you and your family are no longer welcome in the store. You need to leave." ED screams at SG. "You fat idiot! When you get diabetes from being so fat, I hope you die." "Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You still need to leave the store or you will be escorted out." C1 has finished with the customers inside the Vision Center and comes to assist AD. As they begin trying to escort the entire trash family from the store, this entitled white trash brat picks up the chair she was holding onto and literally throws it straight at AD and CW1. AD managed to get out of the way, but CW1 took the force of the chair to his left arm, as he lifted it up to defend himself. He looked on in shock for a moment, and everyone was silent. Then he calmly said, "I have been assaulted, and I would like to press charges." The EW grabbed her daughter and they fled from the store. After everything calmed down, the McWrongalds manager calmly brought it to the attention of the store manager that this family paid with a debit card and gave them a copy of the receipt. They hoped to track the family down to press charges. They did call the police, but because of the rioting in our city, no one ever showed up. C1 has a nasty bruise on his arm, but is otherwise unhurt. My daughter comes home absolutely drained every day from dealing with entitled idiots. She can't wait to pass her optometry test and look for another job. This entire exchange took almost 15 minutes. They could have easily eaten their food outside in the car in the time it took for them to fight with everyone. Thanks for reading, everyone. Until next time. And with her job, I can promise there will be a next time. Hey, listen, I'm as frustrated as the next guy about not being able to sit down and eat my food when I go out. But just deal with it for a bit longer. It's for the greater good of the people. Like, come on. Moving on to our next fast food story, it's titled, "Entitled Parents at Chick Fil A Do Not Recognize the Meaning of Closed." Hey, it's me, the one Chick Fil A guy again. Anyway, like I said, I've got a few stories to share from this whole COVID fiasco. So here's another one for y'all. Today, I'm going to be telling the tale of the family who did not recognize that we are privileged to close whenever we need to. So, for some background, we usually close at 10, but since the pandemic set in, we've started closing at 8. Usually, there are a few people each night who will pull up after we close, and they're naturally disappointed, but understanding, and we try not to leave them with a bad experience. However, once in a while, some people refuse to take no for an answer. So, on this particular Saturday evening, I was working what we call the cash box. If you've never been to a Chick Fil A, or at least one that does this, it's essentially a cash register midway through the drive-thru that takes payments, processes mobile orders, and resequences the order of cars in case the order's wrong. It's pretty efficient and keeps the people at the window from taking too many payments. So anyway, the time was about 7:55, and I was at the cash box, sitting on a little bench and making sure the tablet was charged. There were 3 or 4 cars in line who I had already taken the payments from, and I was just chatting with one of the IPOS people. They're the guys who come to your car with iPads and take your order. We were just talking about the weekend and the virus and stuff while waiting for cars. One more car came through the drive-thru, so after I took its payment, I started to pack up the cash box, which consists of a moderately heavy register and an iPad. The person I was talking to put the immortal cone in the drive-thru to show that we are closed for the evening. They propped open the back door and went inside while I was wrapping up wires to the receipt printer and iPad charger. As I was packing everything into the container to bring it inside, I saw a car pulling around the cone towards the window of the drive-thru. Since I was between them and the window, I stood on the curb next to the drive-thru and put my hands up in a stop gesture. I checked my phone and it read 8:04, so we were definitely closed, with only one car in line. The car was a red minivan being driven by a fairly large, stomach-wise anyway, white dude with a woman in the passenger seat. I could hear at least 2 kids in the back seat, but it was dark and the glare from the windows kept me from looking in. The driver rolled down the window, and the conversation went as follows. Usual abbreviations: ED is entitled Dad, EM for entitled Mom, OP, well, OP. I said to them, "I'm sorry, sir, we're closed. We won't be able to serve you tonight." The guy in the driver's seat was very not happy. He was also not wearing a mask, which made me uncomfortable at the beginning. His words did not help the situation. "BS! I see a car at the window, and if you're helping, then you'll help us too." They had their order taken 10 minutes ago, and they've been waiting very patiently. "Sir, it doesn't matter if you go up there. They're not going to serve you." "Excuse me," the EM said. "My daughter wants a milkshake, and you're going to get it for her, understand?" I could hear a girl screaming about her brother taking a toy or something in the back seat, and the mother turned around and very loudly whispered at them to be quiet. Now, I know that I didn't have to sit there and listen to this woman, but I also know that it wouldn't look good on my performance review if a guy they hired for being good with people basically said, "No, you're going to leave so I can go home and never have to deal with you again." So, my reply was, "Well, miss, I suggest you look somewhere else for that milkshake, because we're closed. Our kitchen and shake machines are shut down, and I doubt there's even food for the employees in there. So, I'm sorry, but I can't help you, and yelling at me will not change anything." By this time, the car in front of them had pulled forward, and the guy in the driver's seat looked at me and said, "I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna get my food, and you can kiss my behind." I responded, "Sir, if you go up there, you will not be served. If you refuse to leave, we will call the police and have you arrested for loitering and trespassing on private property. And then you can do whatever you want with your behind in court." I then turned around and went back to packing up the cash box, ignoring the sounds of raw anger and hatred coming from behind me. As the guy pulled his van up, I got on the walkie-talkie we have outside and told the people at the window that there was a very angry guy and his family coming to the window. I then finished packing up the cash box, told one more car we're closed, they took it much better than the first family, and went inside. I put the cash box in the office in the back of the store and went to the front to see if the van was still there. It turns out my co-workers had just locked the sliding glass window after about 20 seconds of dealing with the people. From what I was told, they stayed outside for a minute or two, but eventually left when they saw a manager picking up the phone. The story does have a bright side, though. I was wrong. The shake machine was not shut down yet, and there were some nuggets and one cheese sauce left, so I wound up getting dinner after all. So, that's all for tonight. People showing up late is a pretty common thing, and we don't usually have to threaten people with the police. So someone taking this normal situation in such an extreme way was pretty memorable. Anyway, that's my story for tonight, and I'm going to bed. See, this is how all engagements with angry Karen families should end. Free milkshakes? Free chicken nuggets? You kidding me? Sounds great. Anyway, now that I'm hungry, I'm gonna have to wrap up today's episode, because we've done so much talking about fast food that I need to go fill my belly up. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Life Stories. You know how this goes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Reddit content coming your way. My name is Trent, and I hope to see you guys soon.